So, Stephanie, what is your approach to customer marketing? And I believe it's more of a programmatic ABM approach.
Yeah, well, we have a kind of split customer marketing in kind of three pillars. You have the one that's probably the most traditional and known, which is more like for brand awareness. So it's advocacy when you have, and it's mostly around customer stories. So whether in the form of a press release or a customer reference, case study, a customer speaking, a video, like those are very this is where typically people start and companies start in customer marketing, and then obviously promoting those assets. So it's very much focused towards awareness. They will be promoted on social, website, event, etc. So you increase your awareness, um, um, and then you feed also the top of the funnel if you can utilize them as well for demand gen, the top of the funnel of demand gen. That leads me to the next pillar for us, which is the demand gen component. And this is the one that the business loves because it's where we're driving tangible results and pipe and dollars and revenue. So this is for marketing when we support cross-sell and upsell. I would personally not seeing really how marketing can play a role in renewal, but we're focusing on cross-sell and upsell. And we're driving demand through customer engagement. So customer with prospects or customer to customer for incremental. And this is also where the account-based approach merge, because this is where you have with the customer marketing, this is where you know your customer, you know your data point, you know what you want to sell, to upsell or to cross-sell, where you're trying to get to. So this is really where for me it's merged the most. And for us, the third part is engagement, which is a bit what Suzanne mentioned. Is more when done purposely, usually for large accounts, when you have a listening part, like when you engage with your audience, it's not just you one direction broadcast, it's the other way around as well. It is also possible to scale it, but the listening to the customer in the form on the customer advisory board that you just mentioned, Suzanne, or when you very tech specific, we have some technical console as well. We call it technical console. But you can scale it as well, and you can actually do more kind of a big roundtable kind of speed dating questions when you have your executive or your people going around from a table to another table. It's another way of listening it. And for your company, to your customer, that's more like broadcasting to them. That's sorry, around product update, but also training. And this is where you kind of again work closely with them and engage with them, training user groups to drive more usage, to drive better usage. And for scalability, you can build those virtually, or you can alternate with on demand and kind of more in person on regular basis.
Awesome. Shaheen, did you want to add anything to that at all?
I think when we work with clients, one of the things that is really critical is starting to work on building a roadmap for account expansion. Of what is if we really succeed in expanding this account, where is this account in 1 year? Where's this account in 2 years, and where's this account in 3 years? Because, and it makes sense to talk in those horizons because these are extremely large organizations. You're talking to Singtel, you're talking to Telstra, you're talking to HSBC, really large organizations where those horizons does make sense. So you talk horizon 1, horizon 2, horizon 3, and what you want to do is you want to map that process. So you want to understand what are the buying centers that we can sell to. By the way, all of this happens in very close collaboration with customer success and the account management team. Like, you do not do this on your own because it's going to fall flat. But you map those horizons. So hey, year 1, this is really the goal of these are the buying centers we want to engage, and this is what we potentially want to sell. We're going to assess that at the end, but really the horizon 2, and your horizons might be 6 months, it might be 9 months, depends on the organization. But horizon 2, then these are the buying centers that we want to engage and reassess this and engage these buying centers. Horizon 3. So on and so forth. And then the next level that you want to think about is then what are the channels that you're leveraging? I mean, I love what Stephanie mentioned, because there is some of the high level air cover components, but then there are some really personal customer advisory. We've talked about this in detail. So what you want to do is you want to map that also out in your horizon. So you know what you're selling, you know who you're going after to, and then the third thing you want to think about is what are they going to be experiencing. So there is these air covers that we're gonna implement, and maybe there are 3-4 different campaigns across the year that they're going to be exposed to. We're also going to be having direct mail, for example. So you're getting tactical. We're going to have these roundtables that are going to happen for these accounts. But I think the key is to build that roadmap. And yes, nothing goes according to plan. And what is that saying? We plan and God laughs, or something like that. Or you want to go Mike Tyson? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. But you know, it's extremely important to kind of map that out so that you know what is coming, rather than having ad hoc initiatives that could probably frustrate you and stress you extremely, and you also don't have time to set expectations for management. So that's what I would say, kind of thinking about both programmatic and the other components coming in.
And just from a more one-to-one ABM perspective, Suzanne, how does your approach to customer marketing perhaps differ from programmatic?
Yeah, Liza, great question. To be honest, I'm not sure that there is too much of a difference, right? If you think about the customer marketing part is very critical to account-based marketing, and I think Stephanie touched on all of those points, right? Advocacy is key, and that's not just with your key stakeholders. It's from the users as well, you know, top-down, bottom-up approach. And it's having, as Shaheen has just said, a roadmap of programs that allows you to have touch points across all of the organisation that you are. So the customers we're targeting, that having that depth within the organisation as well as that breadth of contacts, and making sure that everyone feels part of the journey, because today's user can be tomorrow's decision maker or influencer. And it's really important to make sure that we take everybody on that journey. So that, to my original point around partnership, you know, we are all in this together. You know, we all have skin in the game at all levels of the organisation, because from an ABM perspective, this is not a marketing initiative and it's not a sales initiative. It's a whole of business initiative, and we all have to rally around that.